30분 되면 갈게. 30분 되면.
Yep. Hi, hey. Oh, we're live. Welcome to first live stream for SexyJ. Today is going to be more of a free-for-all session. So you guys have any questions on anything, probably more about the college application process, anything from high school, APs, college essays, SATs, ACTs, whatever it is, you guys can ask me, and I'll be answering the questions. You could ask right in the chat if you have like a general question, or if you have like I have a URL link for a question I want to go over, or I have a screenshot, then you can email it to youtube@zoomed.com, as you can see in the chat. And as I said, I'll be able to cover anything. If you guys find a question that I can't do, I'll be kind of impressed, right? So I can cover APs, SATs, ACTs, physics, chem, bio, literature, math, like whatever it is you guys want me to do. So I can do that. And while we're waiting for the questions to come through, I thought I would just start off by going through the general timeline that you guys should be doing for college application processes and general misconceptions that people have. But I will be checking the chat, like right now, right, periodically. So whatever you guys need specifically, go ahead and ask me. But if not, I'll just kind of go ahead into a little bit of self-introduction. Hopefully you guys have been on my channel already, but introductions wouldn't help. And yeah, so let's get started. My name is Jay, and I'm Jay of SexyJ. The channel is Study English Exactly, and honestly, study everything exactly and efficiently is my motto. I've been teaching since 2008. So that's a long time, right? That's almost half my life, to be honest. So I got a perfect score on the SAT right out the gate in junior year, and I've been teaching ever since. And I have taught over thousands of students. I've been teaching full-time for many, many years, and I have met so many students. And so the reason I started this channel was the fact that I love helping my students, but at the end of the day, I help this one student get kind of exclusive access to the know-how that I have, and that's contributing to, it's great that, that the kid did well, but what about all the kids who don't get access to whatever it is that I'm doing, right? Because I think there should be equal opportunity for almost everything. And so if people are able to get SAT help, ACT help, and exclusive know-how just because they can afford to hire me, well, then I'm not really contributing to the world that I would want to, right? So I started this channel. It's been about 2 months. It's been pretty fun. And so the main thing is, I feel like a lot of people have misconceptions. Let's talk about those first, right? Let's say, hopefully you guys have started looking into colleges, right? So college list, right? You guys should be making your college list. And a lot of people go like, oh, the more schools, the better. Or I just need to do the Common App. Both of those things are false. You need to prioritize your time. Because I've had a student, this is one time. I taught him for like 6 years, I think. Because I started when he was like way, way younger. And I also taught him going into college. He had 24 schools, right? He had 24 schools. You would think, oh, you're bound to get into one of them. But it was honestly terrible because, first of all, Common App only has 20 schools that you can put into, right? So we ran out of space in the Common App. And second, because we were doing 24 schools, if I wasn't there to help him, he definitely would have slipped up and switched the information that he meant to put for one school into another school, right? So you definitely don't want to do, oh, I'm just going to slide in my applications everywhere. Just kind of how people do for job interviews, which is also bad. Don't want to do that. You want to prioritize and make it into maybe 8 to 12 schools. So how do you do that? This you guys have already heard from your guidance counselor, hopefully. Although there are schools that don't even have guidance counselors, which is why I started this channel. So we have what is called a reach school and a target school and a safety school. You guys have already probably heard about that. But with those things as well, for the safety schools, you don't need more than 2. Okay, I only want you guys to do 2 safety schools because the whole point of a safety is like, I am really, really sure I'm going to get in. If I don't get in here, then I'll be super shocked, flabbergasted, etc. So those are just your safety bets. So you don't need more than 2. And for your target schools and your reach schools, which are the ones that I don't really think have a great chance of getting in, but who knows, maybe I'll get lucky. It'll be a dream school. I would love to go here. Then the reach schools, you want to try really, really hard, right? But what does it really mean to try hard to get into a school? This is what most people do. I'm not saying this is bad, but this is what most people do. They will go to the campus tour. They'll make sure they put their name down, right? And they will mention, I've been to the campus tour and I visited, I've talked to people, I have been into your school since I was a kid, blah, 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 right? All of those things are nice, but if you look at it really cynically, the college admissions is a numbers game. So they want to pick people who will help the school look good. right? So let's take like Harvard, right? Everybody wants to go to Harvard or Yale or Princeton, schools like that. So if you sign in and do those things and you mention all of those things in your essays, like I would love to go here, I went to all these seminars and etc., does that make you a better fit for the school? Not really, because everybody else is already doing that for those schools, right? So you don't want to be doing that. So what do you want to be doing? Okay, I'll give you guys one example of something I thought was really good. There was a student of mine, he was applying to MIT. And he had a very personal good connection because his grandfather, way back in the day, got into MIT, but he wasn't able to go because of financial considerations. So his grandson is now continuing his dream. Okay, get the chat. Oh, I'm 40. I want to get in. What should I write in my... Okay, cool. We have a question. So first of all, let's see. There are a lot of programs for returning students. I myself am actually going to Columbia this fall in a program called School of General Studies, right? So that's for students who are non-traditional, who have had interruptions in education, or whatever you want to call it. So first of all, I would say, before you worry about what to write on your application, look into those schools. So Columbia has such a program, UPenn has such a program, so does Brown, so does Harvard. And I know those names are kind of intimidating, but they do have special treatment preference for considering students who have had interruptions in their education. So what should you write on your application? Well, I would really have to talk to you and find out what it is. So the main thing is they want to know, why do you want to go back to school, especially at age 40, right? So if I think about it super cynically, will this person make our school look good by coming into here? So it's going to be, you want to connect what have you been doing in the past few years? How is that connected to what you want to pursue in your school? And also, do you have a concrete vision in terms of, if we take this guy into our school, will he accomplish things? Will he be a businessman? Will he be an entrepreneur? Right? That will be good for our school. Tony, welcome to the chat. I don't know what you mean by how much, but depends on the services. YouTube is free. SexyJ YouTube is free, right? We will be free for our subscribers. Yeah. So yeah, going back to the question, if you want to get into college and you're 40, that's actually in a way advantageous in terms of application, because you will be a different applicant than most other people. And colleges honestly really like those types of stories that they can put on their website. That like, oh, this person is a father of 2. He's working 2 jobs, but he never gave up on his dream, and therefore he's coming to our school. Those types of stories, they love those stories because it'll make their schools look good. So, yeah. So if you gave me information on like what kind of program you want to go into, or what kind of schools you're looking at or major, then I could give you a little bit more specifics. Yeah. And yeah. And there are surprisingly a lot of schools like that. One way to also is to, do I need to take the SAT? No, you do not anymore, okay? Because most schools are going test optional, especially if you are 40, then you don't really need to. Because one, colleges are kind of phasing it out. And 2, they're looking more at what's relevant to what have you been doing the past 10 years. For example, when I applied to Columbia, even though I've been teaching SATs for 14 years, they said, you've been out of college for so long, I need recent academic history. So more than my perfect SAT scores, what they wanted was, they wanted me to go to community. So I actually went to community college for 2 semesters and got a degree there. So you do not need to take the SAT. However, when you're making the narrative, when you want to go, I really wanted to go to the school. So it's been like years since I left high school, but I started studying for SAT. That's how much effort I put in. If you want to do that storytelling, then yes, right? If I want to use it in my essay, then sure. But your SAT score is not going to be a super major concern if you're applying at a later age. Hello, Gray Man. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. Like the whole purpose of the channel is so that you guys can study for these things easily, right? Study everything easily, exactly the best way, SexyJ way, all of that. But I would recommend, it not be a bad idea to practice things like the SAT, because, well, again, depends on the program you go into. You might have to take basic math courses, right? And if it's been like 20 years since I've done any math, it's going to take a while to catch up. So the SAT, studying for SAT might be a decent way for you to kind of make sure you're prepared. But again, depends on your school. Some schools like, oh, you don't need to take math classes for this major. Yeah, depends. Okay. Diane, hello. How do you get a bag? Have you subscribed? You should have gotten a bag if you have come into contact with me. How much is this watch? This one, I don't know if I'm allowed to say those things. It's above 100, below 10,000, anywhere from there, right? This is probably the nicest watch I wear while working outside, right? The nicer ones I'm a little bit scared to wear. So this is my kind of like nice, but I can kind of bang it around. How many watches do I have? I think 11 was the last time I counted. But that's not counting the G-Shocks, because I think I have like 6 G-Shocks. Yeah. But then 11 also. Should I take the ACT or SAT? Thank you, Diane. That's a good question. Should I take the ACT or SAT? That really depends, right? On the major difference. There are 2 major differences, right? ACT is if you like to do things that are more simple, then it's the ACT, but you get less time, right? So SAT, things are a little bit more complex on the reading, but you get a lot more time. So that's really up to you. Would I rather be in a rush but questions are straightforward, or would I rather get more time and work a little bit harder? The grammar sections are identical, so the main difference is the reading. Oh, and then also the SAT, half of your score comes from the math. ACT, only a quarter of your score comes from the math. So those 2 things are deciding factors. Would I rather do quick and simple reading? Then that's the ACT. Or longer and more complicated reading? That's the SAT, but I get more time. And also, am I confident in my math skills? Then SAT might be better because it's half your score, whereas the ACT is only a quarter of your score. Okay. How do I better tackle main idea questions? That is on one of my quick and dirty videos, actually, right? On the reading. So how do you better tackle it? Well, subscribe to SexyJ, right? And watch the videos. But if I were to give you a quicker version, even though quick and dirties are pretty quick, is you want to focus on 2 things. 1, blurb, intro, conclusion. Probably the conclusion will have the main idea like 90% of the time, right? And second, it depends also whether you're talking SAT or ACT, you want to be familiar with the passages. For instance, if I notice there's a historical passage on the SAT, I already know that my main idea is going to be I am arguing for rights. I am arguing that our world is not good enough and we have to make things better. So I already know that even before answering the questions. Oh, Diane, you were the 100th subscriber. Did you not get a bag? Oh, I'll get you a bag. Yeah, we will get you many bags. Yeah. See, you were the 100th subscriber. Oh, yeah, you were. Right. I actually remember that. So you should get... Actually, we don't have anything besides the bags. But, stay tuned. As the channel grows, maybe there will be more things. Yeah, we have a lot of things that we're thinking about. And hopefully the channel will take off. And honestly, like I said, my main goal is to be able to reach as many people as possible, right? People who don't have access to tutors, or there are kids who don't even have guidance counselors. I've had students, like they were seniors, they didn't even really know what the SAT or ACT was. So I want to give information to people like that. So that's my main thing. You subscribed a long time ago. Do I believe you, Tony? I think I do. Okay. I just got some extra bags today. So if you catch me throughout the week. So, but they are pretty limited, to be honest. So I guess you should catch me quick, or yeah. Oh, but it was your birthday recently. Okay, so Tony, I got you on the bag. Yeah. Okay, is that a... Okay. Let's see. Oh, and then the ACT, SAT thing, right? I would say generally you want to think about 6 months in terms of the preparation. And if it's taking you more than 6 months, then honestly, I would say it might be a better idea for you to focus on other things to beef up your application, right? Because if your score is not where it needs to be after 6 months, it's very unlikely that score is going to drastically change unless you drastically change the way that you are studying, right? For instance, like you just discover SexyJ channel and you're doing the reading in a completely new way, then maybe you want to give it a few more months of studying. But besides that, I would say 6 months probably the time. Okay. We have 7 people, and yes, we're all 25 plus. Yeah. And Tony and Diane are making friends. That's good. Okay. We have 7 people. That's good. It's like about 5 more people than I thought would be the minimum. You might have my students coming in a bit, maybe. Well, hopefully. They said they would come in, but who knows? Like last Friday, they're like, oh yeah, Jay, we'll come play basketball with you. And then nobody showed up in the courts, and I had to play with random people. Yeah. Oh, now 6, somebody left. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Diane, for spreading the word, or going to spread the word. I think you already have been, though, so appreciate it. Oh, AP class important for transfers. Again, these are very college-specific questions, but having AP credits, first of all, they will give you a certain number of credits, right, for AP. So it depends on what school you go to, how much credit you get for each AP class. So you'll, first of all, be able to get more recognized status and be able to graduate more quickly, save money. So it is helpful after you get in. And is it important when you're transferring colleges? Yes, I would say so. Just because, like, It's not necessary when you're transferring. Your high school history doesn't really matter as much. It's more your what have you done the most recently, right? So the past year at whatever college you were at, whether it's a four-year university or whether it's community, your recent academic performance is what matters more, right? So APs are more of they will help you get through school faster, right? And would they be a plus? Yes, but they wouldn't be as big of a plus as they would have been back in high school. Actually, a lot of people don't know about this. There's a thing called a CLEP, C-L-E-P, which you can take. Anybody can take it. Anybody can take it anytime. So they're kind of like APs. But if you take the CLEP, it's like a 2-hour exam, I think. You can get college credit for that subject. So they have a bunch of them. They have American history. They have econ. They have physics, chemistry, etc. And you can take them almost anytime you want. So if I have taken the CLEP, right, after I graduated from high school, while I am preparing for transfer, that would be something that shows the colleges that you've done extra stuff. And it would also be a good way to differentiate yourself because they're not really well known as the APs. I only recently found out about them, I think a year ago when I started community. So the CLEP, C-L-E-P, that would be a pretty good way to go if you want to beef up your resume besides the APs. Okay. Oh, yes, you should take AP Chem with Diane. Diane is very, very professional, right? Her notes are very robot-like. Yeah. I don't know how she does those things. Yes, and please send us questions to youtube@zoomad.com. So again, the question can be in URL form. If you have a link, like I found this question online, I don't know how to do it. Or you can take a screenshot, send a PDF, doesn't really matter. I do have the email linked to this. Yeah, like you write like a machine, Diane. Like I don't know how you draw so neatly. Or I guess also because my handwriting is atrocious. But yeah. Okay. Email. Okay, let me check my email. We got an email. Solve this, please. Okay. Okay, I'm pulling it up. Please open in my Chrome. Got it. Oh, 15 hardest writing. Okay, I guess you're just challenging. Where are the questions? Let me scroll down. But they have the answers here, right? I mean, I guess I could give you the my explanations in addition to their explanations. Is that what you would like to do? Who sent this email? Okay. So, I guess we'll switch to... Oh. Bye, Diane. How do you take AP Chem, Diane? I don't know. Diane left, so you'll have to ask her later. Okay. I guess we'll go to the question on my screen. I'll solve a couple. Even though that they have... oh, actually, I'll solve one of these. Yeah. So if you could go to, the question on my end. As soon as that shares, I'll go through it. So, my background, right? I usually do the reading on this channel. And the reason for that is I feel like the reading is the thing that's been missing from most textbooks. And good instruction is unfortunately not really out there. But I can do the writing as well. I got a perfect score on the SAT and the ACT overall. So this is a grammar question, right? Is the screen live? Yes? Okay, cool. Right. So I know the answer says C and like they explain it, blah, blah, blah. But this is the way I always teach things, okay? So they're asking, should I put this in here or should I not put this in here, right? That's all it is. Should I put it in? Should I take it out? So in those questions, it's going to be either yes, because it supports the rest of the stuff, or no, because it doesn't fit. Those are the only options. Yes, because it supports, or no, because it doesn't fit. Therefore, the answer here is C. I know that you say the answer is C, right? It's right there. But that's the wording of these questions. No, because it interrupts. No, because it is off topic. No, because it is digression. Any of those wordings. So something like D. I do want to look at 3D. Something like that, I can really, really, really be confident saying that's never going to be the answer on these writing questions. So this question can come up on SAT or ACT writing. So if it says no because it fails to whatever, that's never going to be the answer, okay? Because that implies that's something I have to do with the sentence. That's never the case. There's no way in writing like I have to do it with the sentence, no, okay? So if the answer is no, it's going to be it doesn't belong there or it is a digression. Oh, actually there is one more. It repeats. So those are the options there. So yeah, the answer here is C. I could look at the rest of the paragraph here, blah, blah, blah. But I don't really, let's see. Workers in offices with windows sleep an average 46 minutes more per night than workers in offices without windows. Okay, workers sleeping windows. And what did I have in this whole paragraph? These are badly written on purpose, right? So on the actual SAT, what would have happened was, you see how this is just a excerpt, right? But in actual SAT, you get the whole passage. And the title of the passage will tell you what it's about. So the title of the passage is probably something about natural light impact on health. So I would have known that's the topic. And this here has no mention of health, so it doesn't belong, so I take it out. Okay. Do you have any questions in the chat? Or I'll just do one more question here before going back to the chat. Okay. Oh, so something like this, right? They give a lot of information here. So this is what I was talking about. We don't even have the text. Doesn't really matter. So I said if it's no, it should be no because it doesn't belong there. It doesn't fit. It's a distraction. Or very rarely it's a repetition. So let's look at the no's. C and D because it should be earlier because it contradicts. Those, I mean, honestly, logically speaking, D could be an okay answer, but I've just never seen SAT do that in my 14 years. So C and D are out. So it's going to be either A or B. I cheated. I looked at the answer. But A is the answer here. And that's much more likely because, what are the two ways? Yes, because it backs up what I said. And that's A. It backs up, provides examples. Or no, because it doesn't belong there. Okay. So there are 15 questions here. So unless, well, I guess I could just keep going through them. Right. Oh, so it's just... all of these are, should I put it in, should I put it in, should I put it in, etc., etc. And hopefully it's getting repetitive, guys. Again, we have the answer right there, right? But 38, the answer is C. Look at it right here. No, because it gives an example that is both chronologically and substantively out of place in the paragraph. All that is, it doesn't belong there. It doesn't fit, okay? So it's actually a pretty good idea, too, if you can find these resources, study the questions according to question types, because then they get super repetitive. So now that we've done 3 of them in a row, we can see that yes, because it supports, or no, because it doesn't fit. And the answer here is no, it doesn't fit. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it for these. I think, yeah, we can switch back to the main screen. Yep. And I'll go back to checking the chat as well. Do I have anything in the chat? Do we all get free t-shirts? No, unfortunately, because, I mean, maybe eventually in the future, hopefully. Hopefully. That'd be cool if you can get to, like, I don't know, how many subscribers. I don't want to put a number out there because I've seen what happens when people put out numbers without thinking about it. Right? There's a Korean, not even just YouTube, mainstream. They were like, oh, if we get to 1 million subscribers, we'll go to the moon. And they had to issue, like, a public apology. But hopefully we'll get to a place where we can do, like, subscriber giveaways. Right? And get t-shirts. I don't know if you really want to be wearing my face, though. If you really want it, I guess we could try to go for that in the future. Yes, you can do math questions, not just SAT, ACT. I can do up to AP Calculus, although I'm a little rusty on that. So if you want to challenge me on things, that would be a pretty good way to go about it. And some people, yeah, I could do over my face to the club. Huh. I don't know. Maybe that would get me subscribers. Yeah, sure. That'd be nice, I guess. Free advertising for me. And yeah, if you guys want to do math, do take AP Statistics in high school if you can. Like, random side note, but do take it. It is one of the most useful math courses you could ever take. So do take AP Statistics because statistical knowledge, if you're going to whether physics, chem, bio, whatever, any of the sciences or anything with data, right, you will have to know basic statistics. I actually had, what was she? She was a doctor. She was an eye doctor, but she didn't really know how to use statistics too well. So she had done a study on, I think, the effectiveness of eye drops. But she had to come to me to learn statistics because she forgot from high school, right? Or she never took it in high school. Yeah. So do take AP Statistics. Okay. Actually, could I see? 9 p.m.? Okay. All right. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. And there you can ask any questions on anything, really. Doesn't have to be college related per se. It could be about, I don't know, I'm into watches. You could be like, oh, what's the best watch you could get for under $500? Or doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay. So what was I saying before? Yeah, do take AP Statistics, right? And What are some other courses that you definitely should take in high school if you can get it? I would say AP Statistics probably like the most important. Oh, merch has come flying in. Oh, right, this is SexyJ tote bags. We have a now I sound like a kind of like a home shopping host, right? We have a very limited number of these left. So if you subscribe, we'll be handing these out as soon as I run into you. Really. Yeah, I feel like one of those ShamWow guys. They're like, call now and you'll get, well, we don't have a phone number. But these are the tote bags. Hopefully we'll be getting more though, maybe. Hopefully. But if not, this will be kind of a limited edition type of thing. So get it while you can, maybe, right? Send me a screenshot of your subscription and I'll send these to you. So that's my face. That's my face. That's my face. We kind of talked about, like, should we make a new one with the long hair? But maybe we'll do that. And these are actually pretty nice. Like, I've been using this to carry my basketball. You are weak on vocab. Oh, so one thing, kind of thankfully, vocab is not as important anymore because the SAT got rid of the vocab section and ACT never had a vocab section. So any tips on how you can improve the vocabulary? Well, really depends on whether I'm doing it for SAT and ACT purposes or whether I'm doing it for general English, right? General English would be a lot tougher. SAT, ACT, that I would say, if I'm just trying to work on vocab, right? Don't even do the test, right? Don't read the passage, anything. Just go through all the questions and the answer choices in every single SAT, ACT you can find and memorize those words. Why? Because the words on the test are the words that are going to come up the test, right? But if you're going to be speaking about like general vocabulary for English, then it would have to be much more specific. You always want to ask yourself, why am I doing the thing, right? So am I working on vocabulary because I want to be a better writer, if I want to be a better speaker, or is it for work? Do I want to be able to understand people better? So as close to your specific purpose, the better, right? So for instance, if I want to work on my vocabulary for work, then I should be looking more into more work-related emails or whatever field you're into. You could read, okay. So in the United States, the average reading level of the United States adult is about 7th grade, which is not too great, but because of that, most publications have a limit on how advanced their vocabulary can be. Right, most newspapers will keep it around, I think, 8th to 9th grade level. But there are certain papers that don't do that. And The Economist, for instance, a lot of people read The Economist just to beef up their vocabulary, especially at the professional level. That's kind of their thing. They kind of take pride in writing things in a not toned down manner. Does that mean they're the best writing ever? I don't know. But that would be a pretty good resource for you to study vocab for professional usages, right? And also the New York Times, but I think the New York Times, like, you have to pay to read the New York Times now. Yeah. And certain people don't like the New York Times because of whatever reason. But vocab, I think The Economist should be pretty good. And there are a lot of publications out there that are good for enhancing vocab. One thing I wouldn't really do is look at vocab lists, though. Because for me, I found out if I memorize a vocab list, I only know the list as long as I need to be quizzed on it. So afterward, it's gone from my brain. So you need it to be in like a more of a real-life context. Yeah. Which is also why, like, when you do like test prep and stuff, you can solve a reading section, right, and do really well, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do really well on the test because you need to do the whole test, right, with the reading, the writing, and the math, blah, 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 with a proctor, timed conditions, all of those things. Okay. Yeah, and let's see. Any general advice I want to give as we kind of wrap things up? SAT, ACT. So on the math and the writing, definitely you can use books to improve the reading. I mean, I'm not saying my channel is the only way to improve, but honestly, my channel is the only thing that I've seen that actually tackles how to get better at reading. But the reading, even if you don't, I mean, hopefully you do come to my channel after this, but I would say you have to study the reading on why did I get things wrong? How can I get it right next time? Which sounds super common sense, right? But too many of the textbooks only focus on why the right answer is right. They don't actually teach you how to get the right answer. So that has to be the focus, and memorize the question types, the passage types, the answer choice languages are more likely, less likely. For you to come up with those patterns yourself would be kind of difficult, which is why I'm here, right? Because I'm consolidating 14 years of knowledge into here. Okay. So I think that's about it for today's live, unless people have questions. And we'll be doing these periodically. And next time I'll probably pick a specific theme. And if you guys have a specific theme you want to see covered in the live or any of the videos, right? Feel super free to leave comments on any of the videos, and also the email that we have been putting out there in the chat, youtube@zoomad.com. Thank you. Then you get to do I think you meant to say mukbang, right? Sure. Yeah. So Tony, if you send me the food, I'll do it, I guess. Right. Also, I am trying to lose weight for the camera because my team says I look like Angry Bird, and I don't like looking like Angry Bird. So I'm trying to slim down, but Tony, if you send me the food, I'll do a mukbang. Yeah. So unless you're going to send me the food today, though, yes. Yeah, I know you're more comfortable in English. So we'll be wrapping up for today, but we will be doing more live, and we'll be doing more content. And as I said, whatever you want to see covered, you can leave it in the comments, or you can email us to youtube@zoomad.com. And it really doesn't have to be SAT, ACT reading, right? Anything college admissions related, because just to give you the final conclusion on who I am, I went to Cornell out of high school. So I went in the standard path. And then I quit because of money. And then I went to Stony Brook for a bit. And then I was at community college. I worked for 10 years in between. And then I got into Columbia through the community college non-traditional path. And I've also helped so many students with their college essays. So I can do whatever avenue you need to get into college. I can probably help you with that, because I have either been there myself, or I've helped students go through those lines, right? Okay. So I think that's it for today for SexyJ live stream. Thanks for joining, guys, and next time it'll be more fun. Yeah. Okay. And good night, guys.